It is draft season. Pro days are underway, and there were some notable ones this week. Joined by Paul Dottino, I am John Schmeelk. Northwestern, not a program a lot of teams usually think about first-round picks coming from. Not the case this year. Let's start with Rashawn Slater. He could be a top 15 pick in this year's draft. He measured in with only 33-inch arms, which may be a little bit short for an offensive tackle. So could maybe he play guard? Well, that's what the media asked him at his media day.
I think I'm the best tackle in the draft. And so I, have a really high level of confidence about that. But at the same time, I'm a team player. So if a team wants to play me at guard, so be it. I'm all for it. As long as that's what's best for the team, I'm happy to play whatever position they need me at.
And Paul, with the Giants letting go of Kevin Zeitler, could offensive line be on the radar, and could a guy like Rashawn Slater with tackle guard versatility be an option for them at number 11?
Well, I think you break that down into two parts, John. First, you talk about the versatility, and with the thinking that Slater could play more than one position, he has to be a guy that they would think about. And then the other thing is, what's going to happen in free agency? Will the Giants add a veteran guard who they think can compete for a starting job, or do they think that Slater could be a plug-and-play player? Now, you mentioned the short arms, which came out at the pro day. That's just verification. The other thing that was a little surprising, though, and beneficial to him is that he also showed more power at his pro day than some people thought he would.
Bench press more than 30 reps. Of course, he sat out the 2020 season, but in 2019, his tape was immaculate. His teammate, cornerback Greg Newsome, he's a guy that's versatile, and he was asked by the media what his biggest strength is and what he likes to do in play as a cornerback.
Yeah, I mean, when the team drafts me, first of all, they're going to get the best corner in the country. I don't take that lightly. I know that I am the best. And, the reason why I know that is I can do it all. I can play man, I can play zone. I can do it all literally. And, even in our scheme, we're more of a, let guys catch the ball in front of us and rally and tackle and not give up the deep ball. But you can see the way I played this season, I was not okay with letting guys catch the football. And, I just think that an NFL team, when they see my versatility, that I can do and see that I can do it all, I don't see why I won't be the first corner off the board.
He ran a sub-4.4 40-yard dash, Paul, and the Giants could have an opportunity, and Newsome's one of them, to pick a corner either in the first round or second round in a deep class.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy who's over 6 feet tall, so he's got that height and that length that a lot of pro corners are supposed to have these days. The other thing you got to keep in mind, though, is that outside of the top two corners, Farley and Surtain, there's a little bit of a gap till that next group, and that's where he probably fits in with a whole slew of other guys on a similar plane.
All right, let's go to another school, Wisconsin-Whitewater. Yes, Wisconsin-Whitewater, a Division III school. Quinn Miners, Paul, we talked about him a lot at the Senior Bowl. Was wearing the belly shirt, he's got the long hair. He just says, hey guys, I'm a hog molly.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's like a lumberjack, this guy. I looked at some of his pro day numbers, and I saw that in the vertical, in the 40, in the 3-cone, and in the bench, he was in the top 90-plus percentile of all offensive linemen coming out of school. That's going to bode well for him.
And he did play well at the Senior Bowl. Could be a day 2 pick. Clemson, one of the top programs in the entire country. Remember, no Trevor Lawrence at this pro day. He had his separate one a little bit earlier in the year. But some skill position guys. Travis Etienne, Paul, 4.41 40-yard dash. Could be the first running back off the board. Probably with Saquon Barkley on the team. Giants not going to go there. But they do have a couple of wide receivers that I want to focus on. Amari Rodgers, just 5'9", but 212 pounds. Kind of a physical inside wide receiver. And then Cornell Powell ran a 4.51 40-yard dash. Let's hear from him where he's most comfortable playing wide receiver.
Being here at Clemson, I learned how to play all three, being versatile. I know that'll help in the next level. Obviously, I love being in the boundary. Being in the boundary means you're going against the best cornerback on the opposite team, and it allows you to elevate your game. You get a lot of one-on-one matchups, and you got to make those 50-50 balls, 80-20. So I feel like being in the boundary really allows me to showcase my talent and really allows me to be a difference maker on the field.
And Paul, I really think that's a key. He said he wants to be a boundary wide receiver. That's probably what the Giants will be looking for in this draft, given Sterling Shepard's presence on the roster.
Yeah, I would agree with that, John, but I don't necessarily know that his skill set translates to being an X, which is the speed guy on the outside that's going to be the long, deep threat. I think he's going to be more of a possession guy in the NFL.
Yeah, and Powell could be an end of round 3 more likely round 4 type of prospect if the Giants don't go there high in the draft. All right, 3 other pro days at the end of the week, Paul. Let's go through them very quickly. Oklahoma, maybe not a first-round pick coming out with the Sooners this year, but Creed Humphrey, a highly rated offensive lineman, coming out of Texas. Sam Cosmi had really good numbers as an offensive tackle prospect, potentially in the second round.
Yeah, you know, the thing about this draft is that you're going to find depth. You're going to find guys who are not going to be high-profile guys, but can make your roster and maybe push and compete as you get into rounds 3 and even 4.
And, of course, North Dakota State, they only played 1 game in 2020, which is why, and we'll mention the quarterback, it was a story, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Right. Boy, he looked the part, didn't he?
He does look the part, but again, the level of comp is a big question for a lot of people.
And only 1 start this year, only has 1 year as a starter. It's something teams are going to have to figure out. For Paul Dottino, I'm John Schmeelk. That's a look at the first week of pro days heading into the 2021 NFL Draft.